This display at the Courtauld will showcase works from our collection that are not always what they seem. I'm Rachel Hapoienu. I'm the drawings cataloger here at the Courtauld Gallery. And the display here in the Drawings Gallery, I started to think about this concept because I was looking particularly closely at a group of drawings in our collection that when in 1998 we had received an anonymous phone call from someone who claimed that these 11 drawings were actually not the old masters that we thought them to be, but that they were forgeries by the 20th century notorious British forger Eric Hebburn. So since 1998, this group of drawings has had a bit of a question mark hanging over them. And when I began in my role, I then decided I would spend a bit of extra time scrutinizing these particular drawings to see if I could try to solve the mystery. And that got me thinking about other fakes and forgeries in our collection as a whole and how we might present them to an audience by showcasing some new research that we've undertaken and some new technology that we've applied to try to answer these questions as well. So the first example we're going to look at is this drawing, which was originally purchased as a Michelangelo drawing. So this is one of the drawings that was mentioned by this anonymous phone caller to potentially actually be a modern forgery. So up until then, we had considered this to be a genuine Michelangelo drawing. After that, it was subjected to quite an amount of scrutiny, and generally the consensus was divided. Most people said it probably isn't Michelangelo, it could be Hebburn, or it might just be an imitator of Michelangelo working roughly contemporary to him, but not Michelangelo himself. So there has still always been a bit of a question about this drawing. We have also always known that there is a drawing hidden on the back of the sheet, but as it's glued down to its mount, you can't see it with the naked eye. However, with our new scanner, we've been able to subject it to infrared photography, and we've been able to tease out a bit of the ink lines that are on the back of this drawing. So for the first time, we are able to get a better sense of this hidden drawing, and hopefully that might aid our ongoing research into determining the true author of this sheet. We also have a number of works in the show where the drawings themselves are not actually forgeries, but later collectors, dealers, or owners have made their own fake enhancements or additions to the drawings to try to increase their perceived value. So in this case, we have a rather striking drawing by George Romney. This is a study in preparation for a series of paintings after plays by Shakespeare. So it's a scene of a demon spirit being summoned. So the drawing itself is not in question. It's definitely a drawing by George Romney. The fake in this case are these initials here, the WB, which are added by the dealer who sold it to the collector, who then bequeathed it to the Courtauld. So this is a dealer who later became known, was a bit notorious for adding fake signatures to prints, drawings, and books that passed through his shop because it would make the works more saleable. He could ask for a higher price when he added these extra details.
Hello, my name is Karen Sayre. I'm the Curator of Paintings at the Courtauld Gallery. And here we're in a different section of the display, Art and Artifice, which shows paintings, sculpture, and decorative arts as a complement to the drawings in the Drawings Gallery. So for example, the work that's next to me came to the Courtauld as a Botticelli. It was rediscovered in the 1930, and it was really considered Botticelli's masterpiece. However, a few scholars did believe that it was a bit too good to be true, and it looked a little bit like the artist had assembled genuine Botticelli works. And indeed, that is what the forger, whose name we now know, Umberto Giunti, did to create this absolutely perfect vision of Botticelli, the quintessential Botticelli. But some believed also that the Virgin looked a little bit too much like a 1920s film star, and that her ideal of beauty was more 20th century than Renaissance. And when finally this work was x-rayed, they noticed that the wormholes in the panel were a little bit too straight, and indeed they had been drilled in as opposed to being authentic. And that started further investigation into this work, and we also determined that the pigments are 19th century. So nowadays we can be pretty certain, thanks to these technological advances, that the work is definitely a forgery, but it doesn't stop it from being an absolutely fascinating work.